A society, by its very nature, is dynamic and changing. It's always on the move. Change is a given, it will happen. And because societies change, it is important for schools and people in charge of education, especially at the policy level, to look at what needs to be changed, how often it needs to be changed, and the change must happen in a timely manner. So society will always be a source of change. And just as we saw the myriads of impacts that individual features and characteristics have on society, even if one slightly changes, it will impact the other. So it's important to look at society as a major source of change. Schools then should be looked upon as agents of change. Change will happen, education will bring about the change, and so schools are looked upon as agents of change. If change needs to be brought in a society through education, it is the schools that play that vital role. Knowledge is an agent of change as well. The more information you have, not limited to one subject area or one discipline or one content area, but if you have breadth of knowledge, a variety of information, you will be better prepared to face the challenges of society today. Society changes rapidly. Lots of change happen. And for schools, it is important to look at how often can we change? How often should a school change curriculum? How often should a school change textbooks? How often should a school change teachers, for that matter? All these different changes will happen. They are a given, but when should they happen? In what kind of a timely fashion should they happen? That needs to be considered. And sometimes education cannot cope with the fast changing society. And today, this cannot be truer than the use of technology. I mean, if we just look at mobile phones in the last 10 years, 5 years, you will see how rapidly they change. And with the change, everybody wants that new technology, the new gadget, with all the wonderful additional things it can do. And therefore, schools need to keep pace with the fast-changing technology. And because it is a financial issue, many schools, many people and individuals will slow down, they will take a break because those changes cannot be kept pace by schools and people in education. Society changes, but how fast do you want to change in education? How fast should a school bring about? There is no sense teaching children today with technology from 2000. It's 14 years old. It's of no use to the student. It will be of no use to them now or in their later life. Therefore, it is important to seriously take a look at how quickly should schools invest in technological changes that happen. And that's only one example of fast changes that happen in a given society. There are financial changes, there are economic changes, there are periods of growth, periods of decline. What happens during those periods? History changes, and today even geography changes. How often and how quickly do you bring about those changes within the schools and the realm of education is important. So society as a source of change, the important thing to consider is making the preparation of students for the world of tomorrow. Why do schools exist today? To prepare students for tomorrow, to prepare the future generation, to help the next generation be better than the current generation. Think about what we as society have today that we did not have last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And that's what you need to look at. What do you think society will be like in 2015, in 2020, in 2025? Are we actually preparing our students today for their real life in 2025? And the answer, in all honesty, will have to be a no. We cannot prepare them, so what do we do? And that is why looking at society and its impact on education is critical.